Annette says that in the Strangers DVD, Tim inadvertently lets slip that he's written a song about you and the end of a relationship with your then girlfriend, which is put it behind you now. Is that
Yes.
right? Annette would like to know: do you still talk to Tim about relationships? Because she'd be concerned that anything you said to him would be put in a song. Is that something you have to be?
Do we self-edit? You have to watch yourself.
Yeah, he does write about everything. So.
He does write about everything, but he would also, I'm sure he's written songs about things. In fact, I know for a fact he's written songs about things that we haven't discussed in interviews. So there's always that option, and also, I'm sure if I was concerned about something, then he would edit the song accordingly. But you know what? It's one of the hardest things he does, I think, is having that sort of that honesty, really laying yourself open in a song is a very brave and difficult thing to do. And I think a lot of artists hold something back, and I think you can tell, and a lot of lyricists do that. And and I think the most powerful lyrics are the ones where nothing's been held back. So it's a very brave thing that he does, but no. So the answer is no.
Joanne says you mentioned on Twitter recently that you have a soundproof drum room complete with huge spiders.
Yes.
She'd like to know when you first started playing, where did you practice, and what was the reaction of your parents?
Well, yeah, my parents were very supportive, and still are. I remember my dad. There's a music shop in Eastbourne called Bonner's, and I remember saving up, and I'd had drum lessons at school, and my dad drove me over to Bonner's, and we got when we bought my first drum kit, which was a green Pearl Export drum kit, and so I just remember coming home with that and setting it up in my room, and I had my bedroom door shut, and then there was another door between sort of that bit of the house and kind of the living room, and I just used to shut those doors and play for about an hour a day when I got home from school, and my neighbours said you can play as much as you want as long as you don't play beyond 8 p.m. So they had to be, because when you play the drums, your neighbours need to be supportive as well. Really. So I was very lucky to have that. So if you've got kids near you who are practicing instruments, then, lay down some ground rules, but it's good to be supportive.
Lindell would like to know if you climb exclusively on climbing walls or whether you actually climb mountains too. Actually, it's Natalie from Switzerland.
Natalie from Switzerland is probably surrounded by mountains. I've never done sort of proper mountain climbing, but I've done outdoor rock climbing, but more sort of, single pitch stuff rather than multiple pitch going up, huge mountains. So, but yeah, I climb outdoors as well. Is
it an ambition to climb more and bigger things?
I've never wanted to climb huge mountains. I think it's just, I respect people that do it, but I think it's bonkers.
Liz H noticed that you've talked before about worrying about your carbon footprint. I would like to know if you've planted any trees on your farm yet to help combat it. Or
yeah, I have actually, and also sort of fenced off areas so they're not grazed, so they get to go a bit more wild, and put up a lot of bird boxes, and generally tried to encourage. There's quite a few areas that we've left to sort of go wild in a way, and the wildlife up there is amazing. So it's the carbon footprint thing. I wish we didn't have to fly so much, but there just isn't another way to get to Australia or Japan or South America, and I think if we didn't go there, then I think more people would do the same journey but in the opposite direction. So it's difficult, and we genuinely do try and minimise it, but I don't know what the solution is. It's difficult. I guess the solution is that everyone has to cut down as much as they can, and probably needs a government to do something about it. That would be my opinion.
Magic from Colombia would like to know, do you have a favourite picture or pictures that you've taken? The one that sprung to mind when I saw the question was definitely your World Cup final one. I love that picture.
Oh yeah, the sort of silhouette-y thing. Yeah, I love. There was one I took in Buenos Aires of Tom on stage that I sort of zoomed in on, and he's wearing a gold jacket, and you see the crowd, but it's all kind of slightly blurry, and he's going like that, and you can see the Argentine flag hanging off the mic stand, and it was a bit of a fluke, to be honest, but I made a big print of it for him and gave him that. So. That's probably in a cupboard somewhere in his house.
CFC from Ireland asks why Keane rarely, if ever, plays She Has No Time.
Well, we used to. It's quite long. It's a slow one. I don't know why we haven't played it for a while. That's a good question. I don't know. Set lists are difficult. You know, you have to balance sort of the singles and the songs that everyone's going to know, and hopefully keep it quite up tempo, and then you have a few slots where you can put in slower songs. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
I guess you've got a lot of songs now, haven't you? You can't.
We do. There was someone was selling a bootleg CD outside one of the shows we did somewhere in the world, and Kyle, guy that does our merch, bought one for us. And it had like 50 or 60 songs on it. It was pretty amazing. You forget how many songs there are out there. So, you know, but yeah, putting together a set list, I think you've got to think about the people who don't know that many songs as much as the people who do.
Gina83 would like to know your opinion on the anti-immigrant law in Arizona, which, if you could explain that for those who don't know about the anti-immigrant law in Arizona, assuming you do know about the...
Well, there's a guy in Arizona, I think he's called Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and he's sort of been a crazy sort of anti-immigrant sheriff, and then seems to have caught on somewhere, and there's basically a law which seems to, I'm not sure if it was deemed unconstitutional, but anyway, it basically allows, or does it even instruct police to stop people who they suspect of not having documentation. I don't know. I think obviously it's based on profiling, and profiling is shown not to be effective as a way of, you know, enforcing laws. And America's a country that is born out of immigration, and I think sometimes that gets forgotten, and I think it gets more out of immigration than it loses from it, and it's just one of those issues that, I mean, you know, I'm not an American, and so, but I've been asked about it, so yeah, my opinion is that immigration's been a good thing for America, not a bad thing, and should still be embraced.
Sam in the UK asks if you were to go on the British quiz show Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be?
Oh my god. I have no idea.
You do alright on drums. Somebody did the songs of Manic Street Preachers the other week. You could do the songs of Keane.
Actually, you know what? I bet there are people who would be better than me about the songs of Keane. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Britpop drummers or something like that.
That would be good. Fox in the Snow, or also known as Caroline in Chepstow, says from your tweets, it's obvious you're a Formula 1 fan. Who do you think is going to win the Drivers' Championship this year?
It doesn't look like, just from the way the championship's going, I would love Jenson or Lewis to have won it, but it looks like it's just slipping away from them. I would love Mark Webber to win it. I think he's so refreshingly straight talking, and he just seems like a really good bloke, and I would love him to do well. I think he's a brilliant driver as well, and I don't know, I've gone off Sebastian Vettel a bit. It's that pointy number one thing he does. It really drives me nuts. So stop doing it. But yeah, I think Mark Webber's, I think he's leading the championship, and yeah, I think he's got a good, you know, I hope he wins.
Next question is from the final question, in fact, question number 50, from Valentine in Mexico. We've left it for a big one. When will Keane release their next album?
Well, We are gonna take. I think Tim's planning to write some more songs. He's written a load of songs, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. And we've played a couple of them live. But he's gonna spend a bit of November, I think most of November, continuing songwriting and sending demos out, and we're all listening to those demos like crazy. And then in December we're going to get together and do a bit of playing through some things and seeing what we like and what's sounding good. And then in January I think we're going to start working probably down at Tim's studio on a bit of pre-production, which is basically playing through songs until we think they're ready to record, and we'll get going. So next year sometime. But the trouble is, as soon as you put a date on it, people start putting that in diaries and plans, and then before you know it, you've got deadlines, and deadlines don't tend to help with albums. So we're just going to wait and see. We don't want to put it out till it's ready.
But it's definitely on its way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people who came to some of the last shows last year will have heard a few new songs, so or a couple of new songs maybe. So with a bit of luck, some of those will make it onto the record.
Marvellous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.